Some youths plan to sleep in a mosque to attend the Northern Youth Coalition for Peter Obi, Jamilu Sufi. Jacobian reposted a tweet by a social commentator and politician Jamilu Sufi on his verified Facebook account, where he wrote that some youths plan to sleep in mosques to attend the Northern Youth Coalition for Peter Obi. Before now, the North has always been a concern to most supporters of Peter Obi, and many have been looking for ways to penetrate and get the acceptance of the Northerners. Jamilu Sufi, who has been an ardent supporter of Peter Obi, Labour Party presidential candidate from the North, tweeted that he was aback to see youths coming from Yobe and Bauchi precisely to witness the Northern Youth Coalition for Peter Obi that is taking place tomorrow. According to Jamilu Sufi, they do not have enough accommodation to host those youth who came from those two locations he mentioned. But interestingly, the youth, because of the love and support for their candidate, decided to sleep in the mosque provided by one of their own. Reading this, what came to mind was a portion of our national anthem which says, "The labour of our heroes past shall never be in vain." These youths decide to make a sacrifice for the good governance they wish for. Wow, okay. 10 a.m. Arera House in Kaduna. Come one, come all. Well, I think this, in a way, softens it basically cushions the worries of, Peter Obi supporting the North, because, again, that is where the numbers lie, right? And so if the youths, they are proactive and they're traveling and willing to sleep in a mosque, it does show that, maybe things are actually going to turn around. However, we also have to be careful of the fact that anything can still happen. And because, again, I feel like it's really now sinking in our heads as Nigerians that it really is a game of numbers. Yes, fact is, votes may be rigged, votes may be manipulated, but it really is a game of numbers. And I think we should also cut the North some slack in some areas as well. Again, until we see it for ourselves and we see the actions and we see the actual event play out and see videos and see them support, then okay, fine. Because it's not impossible for the North to come out and support who they wanted to support in the past. So the energy and the activeness, it is there. They can, So I think this campaign season, things are going to start happening. I think this is where we will see the strength of Peter Obi and how much he can actually, how much support he can actually amass. How, and again, even his supporters are even doing his campaign for him. That's why those that are supporting that presidential candidates will seem a little bit intimidated or seem a little bit like they're being forced to vote for Peter Obi, which is really not the case. It's just the rising popularity that he has and the fact that Nigerians are just willing to support till the end, But until we see the support in the North and we see how people are, or how the Northern youths are willing. And I think that's when things will actually change and we'll actually believe that, things are happening. Comments. I am now convinced that there's the hand of God in Obi's candidature, despite the divisive measures taken by the likes of Reno Mokri and Deyunju Shore and many other Yoruba reporters to blackmail Peter Obi. On a religious and tribal basis, the youth appear united and determined to take back the country through him. Youth of all ethnic groups in Nigeria, whether Yoruba, Hausa or Igbo youth, are all in this together. Literally, let's put the older generation to shame, honestly, in all sincerity. Because if anyone, again, it's the youth that will make the change. And it's like, if anyone would be against the change, it would be the older generation of all these ethnicities. So it's like, where we are from really doesn't matter. It's just the mindset and those who are just not willing. I'm not saying that the older generation, some of them are not forward-thinking or progressive, but it's less likely that the youth would have any tribalistic tones or, be discriminatory just because of where you're from. I think the world has we've really moved on from that. Or hopefully, ideally, we should have. Our beloved northern brothers have embraced the truth, but our southern western brothers are still living in self-denial, believing their Jagaban money will buy all votes in the country. They will cry last. I mean, it would be a very big change if because usually it's assumed that, okay, fine, the Igbos and the Yorubas would be the ones to be against the North. But then now, I mean, with Jagaban's popularity and, with the his endorsement by Yoruba actors, it will just be plot twist if it's actually the Southeast and the North that actually come together for Peter Obi's sake. It will be so funny. I mean, this is literally this is history at this point. I mean, plot twist, plot twist, and I think we need some interesting things like that to happen. Thank you for planning your children's future with Obi. A time will come, the ignorant and gullible who will not vote for a certain candidate on religious and ethnic tribal grounds. I'll say I wish I did not vote against Obi. How long should the full-blooded Nigerians wait to rescue their nation from the hands of hijackers and political gladiators? The time is now. Honestly, having a united front is so important. Not just to put someone in office, but to also work together and understand that, yes, we put him in office, but it also takes work for us to build our economy, for us to increase our productivity as a country. And if we have that united stance that, we are producing, we need to increase our output, we need to increase our productivity as a nation, it takes all hands to be on deck. And again, Labour Party, I think people don't understand, this is just the first phase of it. If Peter Obi does get there, that's when the work starts, because Labour Party, he's making all of us work. He has the concept and he has the mindset of wanting to build. Go and watch his interviews. He stresses on building a lot. So yeah, it shouldn't just be a thing where, again, let's not forget, it's a process. The process is of, obviously taking one thing at a time, yes, but again, Nigerians can get very excited that sometimes we can miss other aspects or avenues of what an outcome could possibly be. So yeah, we need to be careful about that. But yeah, I think, it is what it is in that regard. A lot of times we can get very excited, but I think this is very much positive, very, very positive. Again, it's the youth that are basically needed, and under 18s, please don't come out to vote, please. I mean, in the North, basically. But yeah, I think you need to cut them off some slack and actually, these people are capable of doing their own thing. I think the impression that they just follow. I mean, again, it's given the circumstance in which, okay, fine, for their survival, literally, as simple as that. So it's of course, it's a very big trade for the future and the vote. However, you have to understand the reasons why, and we have to eliminate these problems first for us to get them in a thinking mindset where they look for the future, not just because someone is from their land. So yeah, put what you think about it in the comment section below. Do not forget to like and subscribe.